So you get through year one, and I'm guessing, like the Super Bowl, you start planning for year two on the next day. And what was the primary thing that you wanted to fix? What were you most focused on from the beginning?
So I'd say there were two objectives that were forefront. One was to change our product ladder in order to create more opportunities to get more fans on track. And we accomplished that by adding another 10,000 plus general admission tickets. And when we sold out for Saturday night, just seeing the throngs of fans, many of whom are new fans of the sport, enjoying our race was just an incredibly rewarding moment, given the goal we started with the 12 months earlier. And then the other goal we had was to really enhance and improve our communications plan, particularly among the local media, and to improve our relationship with the residents of the Valley. We moved so quickly to make year one happen. We just did not have the opportunity to engage in the type of community benefits that we were able to do in year two.
And did you reassure folks who drove Ubers or taxis that they'd be able to get around a little easier in year two?
We did. We had a much better communications plan. We developed that in partnership with Clark County. We also brought on a new head of corporate affairs who was instrumental in putting together a series of fantastic community events to really give back to the community that we inconvenienced so much to make year one happen. And what we've been able to do through year two is to prove we can put this event on without creating a ton of traffic and irritation. We did not have to re-asphalt 3.8 miles of streets. We put our lighting trusses up and we put our safety barriers in place, but we did it in a much more organized manner that caused far less disruption.
Yeah. You mentioned the 10,000 general admission tickets, three new fan zones also. And a more, I think there were more single day event tickets that you created too, right? So whole new packages that you really wanted to, was that just to try to make it more accessible to everyone?
Yes, absolutely. When we put together our initial product ladder, it was focused on the more traditional 3 day ticket package,
Yeah.
and really marketed towards the more traditional race fans. And what we discovered through year one is that this is the race new fans are coming to. And that new demographic that we have worked so hard to reach out to, a more female fan base, a younger fan base, more diverse fan base, they are the ones coming to this event. And we wanted to create a number of options throughout our product ladder to invite them to learn and enjoy our sport.
You had a bunch of other things going on as well. Let's talk a little bit about room rates too, because I know that was such a source of consternation in year one. They were exorbitant at the beginning when the race was announced, and then from what I understood, they were rock bottom in the days leading up to it. How did you address some of those issues for those who were attending who were from out of town?
Well, I think in year one, you're always going to have the buzz and the excitement of the inaugural event and people wanting to come and experience that first year of a new race. Then, as you move into year two, we saw a lot of fluctuations throughout the year in terms of dynamic pricing, both on our tickets as well as the room rates. We saw some softness just in the Vegas market generally. But then as we got past election day, we saw a hockey stick on our demand curve. When we look back, it makes sense that Las Vegas is known for being a last minute market. That was, of course, not the case for a year one event, but that is an anomaly. What we are looking at for year two and beyond is that much more traditional Las Vegas market.
So you want to draw more locally?
We are very excited about being able to draw locally and then also from the geographies that Las Vegas would typically feed from. But we're also really hoping to see a lot more international tourists on a go-forward basis coming to years three and beyond, such that now that the room rates, I think, have stabilized and that the casinos and the other properties have more experience, they have more data points. And I think they'll be going out in year three with a more moderated rate approach, which should be more welcoming to people coming from outside of the United States.
And what was when you analyzed all of it at the end, what were the percentages? Where did people come from?
Primarily from the United States.
They're the U.S. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
very much so.
Interesting. So this is the phenomena that we've talked about on this show for 3 years. This is the phenomena of Formula One in America, that those who have been following Formula One for a long time in America know that most visitors were international visitors, and now it's homegrown. That's obviously a byproduct of Netflix's popularity and attention. But you hit on something earlier. The demographic is changing. I've seen that in places like Austin and Miami and Vegas. How much is that? How much did the demographic change from year one to year two, from a gender and or age perspective?
So based on the data that we have so far, and we're obviously still collecting, but we saw very much consistency between year one and year two, and that is more women fans, younger fans, many people who this is their first Formula One race, and they're coming out to Las Vegas to learn about the excitement that is Formula One in the U.S.
It makes you want to send a check to Netflix every time you host the race, doesn't it?
Well, I'd say that the other really important phenomenon in our being able to break into this new fan base in the U.S. was opening the sport up to social media. Prior to Liberty's acquisition, teams, drivers, they weren't permitted to be promoted on the social media platforms, and we opened it up. We opened the sport up. Now, when you think about the younger generation, they live on social media, so they're consuming that content in a way that's creating an entirely new fan base.